Thankfully, I don't think I will ever actually become a chicken tender person. Don't, right, Lou? Right? Because you eat cat poop and you haven't turned into that yet. So I think I'm safe. Welcome to another episode of Coffee and Co-op. I finished my coffee because I was just doing some chores this morning. I had a lot of stuff on my plate this morning. By that I mean I played like Madden for 2 hours at 8 a.m. I digress. It's time for Coffee and Co-op. We haven't really evolved past our Ultralisk upgrade. It takes more than one mission now to level up. So, I stole a used Cadillac. Sometimes it be like that. All right. We got a Phoenix. I wonder if he's prestiging or not, since he's level 12 as well, right? My unkillable Stedalites make my Ultralisks unstoppable. Unstoppable. Also, I found out why the FPS was so low yesterday in the game, and it was probably in the episode of Coffee and Co-op as well. My BIOS did reset, which set my RAM back to stock speeds, which is actually really bad because, you gotta run XMP to get 3200 megahertz on Ryzen, which actually has a pretty huge performance impact on the IPC, the RAM speed. Especially if it's lower than 3200. Going to 3200 is pretty big for single core performance and really just all performance for Ryzen CPUs. They announced the new ones today. I'll try to spare you from some of the nerdiness of that in this video, but I'll probably be going into it pretty big time on the stream. Good discussion. They basically announced like the coolest thing today. I was happy. I was a happy boy. Spawning pools build fast in co-op, right? Yes, they do. I'm like, you know what? Let's just rush the Stedalite expansion. Right? That's the tech. Look at that. Look at my 7 drone economy. Isn't this beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? Isn't she lovely? Not enough minerals. Kinda low on the minerals there, huh? Yeah, but Pupper's sleeping. Oh yeah, also my power plan, my Windows power plan apparently. I wasn't really sure what was wrong, and I tried setting it to balance and all this other stuff, and then I found out that apparently I still had my CPU limited to 85% in the Windows power plan settings because of... Well, I just, I was just trying to make it use less power, right? Before we had the, before we switched to one PC, right? So, naturally, that became a slight problem. So, turns out that just a couple of weird factors yesterday all combined, but I don't think I need to completely reinstall Windows. I'll save that for, like, Sunday, maybe, while I'm watching football. That's like a, multiple hour type project, completely resetting everything. Gotta set my DPI, my repeat rate, all that jazz. And I've already redone all of that stuff on my, I've already redone all of that stuff on this computer. There's just, there's always something. There's always something that you miss. That's one of the ways I describe myself as a person, I'm more of a jack of all trades, master of none type. I can do a decent amount of different stuff with some level of proficiency, but if you're like, Nate, I need you to do a perfect cabling of a computer when you build it. Perfect cabling. I need that. I'd be like, I actually can't do that. Like, I can't do a perfect job. It's just not one of the things that I think I'm strong at. I don't know. It's hard to admit that, but it's the sad truth. Of course, my FPS will always be low playing as... my FPS will always be low playing as Stetmann, though. There's no surprise there. What? How did it blow up? You guys are supposed to be distracted. They're supposed to be distracted, and now I'm upset.
It will soon be under our control. Anything for my best friend. I will follow your command, Master Ego.
It is better to have them be in the Steadalites, though, right? They took the Celestial Lock! No! Re! Our allies are in danger.
Our presence is required to claim an objective.
You built a new PC last year and was really proud of the best cabling job you've done. Then you got a new roommate whose cabling made yours look terrible. Yeah, I'm just not... I don't know. Like, the Corsair case I have is really big. And it makes it, like, so easy that even Nathanias could do decent cabling job with it. My Carbide Air 540 case, which is my big chonker case, because my 3090 won't fit in my smaller case. So, like, when I think about stuff like that, that's where I'm like, okay, you know? When I think about that stuff, I'm like, see, this is where it gets a little bit easier, right? But, yeah, it's hard. Cabling sounds like a euphemism. I mean, it's not, but I can see how you could come to that conclusion.
Our ally is waiting for us to claim an objective.
Oh my god, I'm the bad ally. It was me, Barry! It was me all along! Just burrow a drone there. Whatever, dog.
We have activated a celestial lock.
Let's go. That's what the robot sounds are, because I'm flying the little robot, dude.
The Zelnaga construct has been corrupted by Amon's void energies. It would be an act of mercy to destroy it.
You're gonna need more gas to fuel those memes. Your
The
friends are in
enemy
a
is
bit of a
using
pickle.
cloaked units. They cannot hide from our detectors.
Cabling is not that simple, though, right? Like, I mean, it's not one of those things that's just easy to do, you know?
Amon's progress.
Like, I think of the hardest part about building a computer is installing the CPU. Because that's, like, really one of the only places where you could actually really screw up to the point of, like, oh my god, I need to stop because I have to go buy a new CPU because I bent the pins on it or some shit, right? Like, that's something that can happen. That's something to consider, you know? But cabling is just, like, it really is, you know, if you're not good at it, it's hard to just, like, convince yourself out of the blue to be like, oh, yeah, wait, I know what to do. I'm just gonna, you know, just do it better, duh. Like, nah, it's not. It's not quite that simple, sadly. It's not quite that simple.
Our presence is required to claim an objective.
Oh my god, they killed all my shit. I put all these guys in one spot. That was the mistake that I made. I just shouldn't have put all the infestors in one area. That was never going to end well. So these guys are regenerating energy, just not really as fast as I'd like. The best way is to just do this, right? And this will just restore all of them, basically. Yeah.
3 of the locks are now ours.
I'm like, my FPS did get down to 5 recording yesterday's video. So the fact that it's only down to 25 now is fine. Because 25 FPS is actually still pretty good for late game Stetmann co-op. As embarrassed as I am, dude, to say that. Oh, he doesn't have any... Oh, there's no detection whatsoever. There's just no detection at all. Well, I need to get...
Amon's minions have taken a lock in his name. This cannot go unanswered. The enemy is attempting to capture a celestial lock.
There we go. Lurker's dead.
celestial lock. We must take it back.
I'm just gonna give the buff to Phoenix. Just give him all the buffs.
Your ally is being attacked. Your Zerg have finished evolving. The mutation is ready. Let's hope the enemy's not. This costs gas. We need more. Your allies are in combat.
I actually like this a lot. Some things are kind of push fit if you're not overly zealous. Yeah. Well, it's like it's like the screws to put your fan in the back of your case, right?
Objective.
You could put 2 screws on opposite corners and your fan will be sturdy AF, right? Would any self-respecting computer builder be like, yeah, that's an okay thing to do? No. There's no guy that's like, I've been building computers my whole life. Yeah, you only need two screws for the fans. Like, absolutely no one is going to tell you that. So, like, there's just some things of, like, nuance. Like, but you could get away with it if you just really didn't give a shit, you know? But nobody would respect you for that, right? So, it's kind of like, you know, there's varying degrees and degrees of variance when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Bad guys closing in on your arms. Your allies being attacked.
The enemy will fear my blades.
The enemy's taking fire at your forces. Your allies are in battle.
It's also like I'm using Mecha Ravagers, which are also going to have like the largest amount of Mecha Ravagers are also going to be pretty crazy up on the garbage charts as far as things go, like with regard to, you know,
We cannot claim the
making the FPS go down. Took a long time to answer that one, Nate. You doing all right, buddy? Just another manic Thursday. Actually, the season finale of The Boys drops tonight. I am pretty excited about that. Well, hello. Hey, the Great 8. Sup, dude? What is up, my dude? How are you doing today?
4 of the 5 locks are under our
I'm like, is it in range of something that's going to shoot it down? No? Okay. Now, the real trick would be like if you could make the Stedalites be detectors.
Your allies are in battle.
I shall oversee this battle from above.
Gonna need that Ryzen 3 5000 series CPU. I'm gonna need that to get that extra 25% IPC. I don't know. Turns out I might actually need it for co-op.
The construct is no more. The Dark God will not corrupt the Zelnaga's work so easily. Is there anything my buddies can't do?
Your forces are under attack.
Ah, I shot it down. Shut it down!
This lock.
I'm John Tapper. Shut it down! Would you eat this filth?
Your allies are in combat. Let's lend a hand.
Just chilling, and me? Oh, I'm just playing some co-op. All right, we're down to 10 FPS. Still not as bad as yesterday. Then again, it is a large map. I have placed a rather significant number of Stedalites. So, can I say I'm surprised? Yes, of course. This, you know, I live in the United States. I'm supposed to be able to say shit like that. I can say that I'm fine. But am I fine? No. I'm not doing okay. I've got 15 FPS, and that just, you know, it's painful. But that's Stetmann. That's just the way Stetmann. I have to try to remind myself that, you know, when your computer is on Terrazine, it's not the same, you know? It's like, there's a, you know, your computer's on Terrazine versus not. Oh my god, there's a lot of dudes there, huh?
Control of this lock.
GG.
Flawless victory. Be quiet, Gary. Why do I always have
Be
to
quiet, Gary. Be quiet.
Replay up on the wall.
You guys ever feel like Gary's being bullied? And we need to do something? Someone with the username Limitless Lemon Cup followed my stream. And I mean, I don't know if that's some sort of weird euphemism itself, but I like the guy's username, so just figured I'd give him a little freebie shout out today. All right, my game capture's not turned on that scene. Okay, that's the easier one to get to that doesn't have the mules raining out of the sky. So we got Mecha Zerglings and Mecha Banelings drop double the amount of Mecha Zergling Remnant. Okay, so it's just easier to recycle them. Nice. And then the next one we get is the Spire upgrade cache. Ay, ay, ay. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning into this episode of Coffee and Co-op. I'm trying to be a little bit more consistent with the uploads. I know we get a couple day breaks in there and whatnot, but that's just because I try not to work on Saturdays and Sundays because my brain is literally melting from the way that the world is these days. So I'll see you guys for the next episode. Na zdrovia.